Good evening and welcome to FTB Sport, to the transfer show. Darius was meant to be joining me to talk Spurs, because I think the big question of the evening really is more about managers than players. Who'd have thought, after Antonio Conte left Chelsea in a bit of a huff and then went to Inter and had some really good success with a few ex-Premier League stars like Lukaku, etc. And now, after leaving Milan, I think because the owners had run out of money, their businesses in the Far East weren't great, and he was told his budget was going to be cut and he had to sell some players, and he left Inter Milan after winning the league, after stopping Juventus's incredible run. And now he's linked with Spurs. Will that happen? And I think there's the ex-Juventus guy who's meant to be joining with him. So it could be a whole little Italy in North London in Spurs. I just wonder, if anyone is out there, how do you feel as Spurs fans about the thought of Antonio Conte coming on there? Yes, he's just won the Italian league, not a particularly strong league at the moment. But boy, he was, what's the word I'm looking for? Volatile at Chelsea. The reputation he had with the players was one of, non-congeniality, upsetting the players, etc. So for you Spurs fans out there, how do you feel about that? Is that the manager you wanted? And on that basis also, with Ancelotti heading out of Everton so quickly, the Everton board meeting today to assess who they want in there. Will they take Nuno away from Palace? After 3 days of discussions, is he likely to go there? I think it was Jamie Carragher, not that I've ever listened to him in the past, but actually I thought he had the soundest advice. He said they should go for Rafa Benitez. Absolutely. I think Rafa Benitez and Everton would be a really good mix. Really, really good mix. Probably better than Nuno. And certainly, I can't see it. Just no way could I see Steven Gerrard going down there. Firstly, I'm not certain after 1 year's experience at Rangers that Everton would think he was the finished article ready for them at Goodison. But more importantly, surely Steven Gerrard wouldn't do it to Liverpool and his reputation. Surely not. So, will it be Nuno or will it be Rafa going to Everton? And will it be Antonio Conte as opposed to Pochettino going to Spurs? The word is obviously that Paris Saint-Germain are fighting to keep Pochettino. Must have been the great success he had this season. Perhaps not. And they've extended his contract, so obviously the buyout for Levy will be far, far the greater, as opposed to Conte, where there'll be no fee involved. So really interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff. Elsewhere in the market, there's still lots of talk about Harry Kane and swap shop for Harry Kane. Good to see Watford getting out the blocks quickly. We don't often mention Watford, but they have signed three players. They signed a new player today. Apparently a really athletic lad from France. I can't remember. I read briefly about him, but the reputation sounded quite good. So Watford are working hard on their rehabilitation to the Premier League. But it's all about managers. There is still, as I say, nobody confirmed at Palace, nobody confirmed at Everton, nobody confirmed at Spurs, and that's gone on for quite a while now. And Wolves. So what's that? 4 Premier League clubs. West Brom was an ex-Premier League club. You could call it 5. That's a lot for this signing of the season now. And again, there will be ramifications on that. Depending on the manager going into Spurs, I imagine there might be a bit of a knock-on on Harry Kane. Chelsea, it looks like Abramovich is trying to get Lukaku back there of his own volition. But if Conte goes to Spurs, would Lukaku go back to Spurs to replace Harry Kane? So many questions, but I think it's got to be the managers in place first, and then some decisions on what's going to happen. So I'm looking. Any comments coming through? Let's have a look. I'm looking for some Spurs fans out there to pass their comments on Conte, but very interesting situation. Very interesting situation. Anyway, put your views on the Facebook site. Love us, like us, share us. right across the piece. Have a good evening. Let's see what happens by tomorrow night. Bye.